Never come to terms with that, especially when it happens abrupt. I stagger in pain that for years. Make me touch a road and ease now. Circle back same way. You never know how we feel. Not even when we dey squeal. You never know how we go so. Sky burst and the tears just let go. We are happy gonna ready for your way. We are happy gonna ready for your way. We are happy gonna ready for your way. That kind of pain they may never prepare. We are happy gonna ready for your way. We are happy gonna ready for your way. We are happy gonna ready for your way. That kind of pain they may never prepare. Jah have mercy upon we families. Before you go on over so, everybody live happily. Now you're gone, hot skull, what a tragedy. Try to be strong, we's gonna still a bother we. Nah sleep, nah eat, nah talk too. Just wonder if you know how me feel too. Forever we will always miss you. Know your love Christ, so me know that you get through. You never know how we feel. Not even when we dey squeal. You never know how we go so. Sky burst and the tears just let go. You never know how we feel. Not even when we dey squeal. You never know how we go so. Sky burst and the tears just let go. Tears are run on my face because of the pain we're facing.
It should get right. Oh, looking green. Yes. We inside, or we inside? Hey, we inside, man. We inside, man. Yeah, we singing real good. We singing good. That is your family. Well. Let's see we are wasting no time tonight. Because last week that time run like that. So tonight we're not wasting any time. Is that right? Yeah. Santinize yourself, Santinize yourself now. Santinize, yeah. In jail, this on national TV, this man Rahin here. Well, let's see what's going on, guys. We have our distinguished guests in the house early and ready to deal with your questions because we know we had some burning issues last week that we just we try not to go too much in the fire. But tonight we'll try to deal with all the questions that were asked,
we finish off.
Yeah.
Very important, and we say we're going to start back this week with that question.
Yeah.
I remember the question.
Yes. I don't remember, man.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into it, all you know, it is imperative of us to do the anthem of Guyana. Right? Yeah, but I ain't getting your volume at all. Check your business. Check your business. Yeah, but I ain't seen you coming in here at all. Yeah, you ain't coming in at all. Yeah, we go fix you. So then we taking the anthem, we go fix the volume, and then we coming back and it's going down the road. Anthem. There we go.
Hey guys, so this is the actual recording. Culture Don't Close Down, Culture Don't Fall Out. Written by Mr. Ronald Ford and sang by yours truly.
Joking. The country was shocked to see Errol Bareback crying. People thought he was filming a new TV episode. We cultural archives was heading in a dark hole. How we value the works of those who contribute. For my cultural expression, money can't substitute. The images will remain embedded on my mind. And for my culture, I'm reflecting all the time. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. It's a continuum between generations. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. That is how we just pass on tradition. To protect the archives of my people's expression. To save the soul of this great nation. Our people's culture keeps them strong and provides the stimulus to carry on. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. The will of my people make the bailiff up and run. If my dreamy Patsing was wrong and still walking, she would have the bailiff on their toes running. Just would have hit them licks in one of the episodes. Bona St. Rose would have ripped she bed and give them blows. Thanks to the generosity of the people of TNT, they say the cultural works of my country. Marcia Henville must be feeling so proud of we for protecting and saving Gaia TV. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. For a few dollars you can't tell culture close up shop. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. It's Western TV, you want me cheer on to watch. What's wrong with seeing people on TV looking like me? You culturize my children with Bert and Ernie. Our people's culture can only be about money. Seeing yourself on TV brings a different energy. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Philomena would have beat them with she bucket and mop. Lang, 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 hey. If Mr. Roscoe was in the mansion that fateful morning, that summer, but it will never flop. From the Ganges and the Niles emerged chutney. Calypso evolved from the brutality of slavery. The Spanish influence parang for all are we. And the English Privy Council is still with we. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Displacing the archives is a recipe for this unity. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Dang, 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 hey, hey, where you going with that? Culture don't fall out. You, hey, I pay the money. We pay we money.
Pay we money.
I'd
Pay we
ask you, that's what money that she pays. We pay we what money? What you pay
You
for?
want to get involved in this business?
Right, I don't know.
You know,
I
you
don't
just
know
stop
what she
already.
pay for. Anastasia,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Hey, yeah. Anastasia
Norris
Francis.
Wilkins, great job loving it up here at
Mary Jane
CITV.
Koshima, man.
Nice,
Oh,
man.
God.
Urena Victory. Good night, host
boy,
and guests.
good
Good night to
boy,
you,
good
Urena.
boy.
All the way
Yeah,
Atlanta,
I'll be
Florida.
thinking
Wait
faster
till
than mine, boy.
Elena, who's it?
Aruka.
Who's CTV? Where's that CTV?
All the way in Aruka.
Ellie?
Right.
Ellie?
Yeah.
Aruka?
Yeah. Wilkins.
Lower Aruka.
Who's
Ellie.
that boy? Norris Wilkins.
Yeah.
The other day I went to check my mom and I see one of the neighbors come out. Hello, good day. I'm watching, I'm trying to figure out, okay. How the guy going? I said, you don't be on a rubber dub. The woman says she never missed an episode. She
The
and
mother?
she was the woman.
Oh, the lady.
The neighbor.
Right, okay.
Since
okay.
we'll start, she and she husband lockdown every Tuesday.
Yeah.
I just take it.
Yeah.
Say
And
nice.
as I say that, let me say good night.
Hey,
to
Solange Martin,
to
good
the,
night.
Mother of Councillor Kendall Charles.
Yes, I.
Always
Yes,
tuning
I.
into Gaia. Let me say good night to you. And she said she always tune into Rubber Dub. So that's nice, man. Spread
Nice.
the word to your friends, your families, everywhere and around the world. But we inside. It's Tuesday night. We in the yard.
Yes, I.
We having a good time. We have all distinguished guests inside once again. Somebody saying good night to the FIRA crew on the inside.
Fire, Stefan Pascal.
Right? So this person was
I
asking
found out
about
they-
accreditation.
I like that.
And they were accredited
are
by
accredited.
the Accreditation Council.
Nice. Thank you, Bradley.
Well, you see that the last part of the question is what we're not too sure about. The accreditation, from what I would have researched and found out, would have been for the subjects that they do, which I think is law. They do some drill and firearm. Well, drill, firearm. Not practical. What's the other word? Was it theory?
Yeah.
Theory. So, but that last part is what we will have to dig into. I'll have to really probably give a call down to the barracks and get some. Sorry, the academy.
Yeah.
The academy.
There's
I can't say
academy.
the barracks. Right?
Different thing.
It's the academy. Right? So I'll get the information. We'll get the information. Right? Looking forward to the discussion tonight. Urena Victory. Welcome.
Right.
So, guys, let me get the ball rolling one time, The ball in all your court tonight. Call
Yes.
me. Feel free to leave your voice notes also.
Look the number
The
there.
number is to the top.
Look
As you
the
can
number
see,
there,
it's
right? So
on
you could
top.
call it. Right.
715-4522. You can leave voice note, contributions. You can even call on WhatsApp. Maybe
Same number,
where you are,
yes.
you don't have, you don't have the means of a. Hey, look. Let me see if we get in this one
Team
here.
coming already. What?
Rubber Dub inside.
Yes,
Good night. We
Hello,
can hear you.
good night.
culture door closed down, culture door
don't
fold
close
up.
Yeah.
Niceness.
This is Rosie. Mr. Andrew Williams will know who this is.
All right.
Mr.
all
Caruth
right.
and the host, thank you for doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And bless up, Gael. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so very
Yes.
much.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so
Must give
very
kudos.
much.
Must give kudos to Errol, Fabian,
Yeah,
Jillian,
yeah.
and the Gael family for keeping the culture alive and for keeping local alive.
All the time.
Some people don't like to hear that story when you go down that road there. But that's the next story by itself. We will get into that next time. Leave that there. So, hey, remember, we ended off on a question.
Yeah.
And we said we're going to start back with that question because it's a very interesting question. So who wanted to take it? Mr. Caruth, Mr. Williams, which one of them want to bring it back? And it had to do with that, with tactical something.
The question was, who would attend a tactical program?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got 4 ladies.
Yeah, I think we had,
we had some people.
We had
some people.
I think they would attend a tactical program.
Yeah.
And we'd like those 4 ladies to call back tonight.
Right, so
wasn't all ladies now. I remember one guy said he would do it. I remember this one guy. That's Stephen Ambrose.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
that's a friend of
Ambrose,
ours. Yeah. But he said he will do it. Trinidad said she will do it. And there were a couple more people. So, call in.
Call in, man. So,
what we want to hear is,
go ahead.
What we want to know is why you said you would do that course, or you want to do that course. Why? That is important. Why? Go ahead, Alistair.
Why? Why you do the course? But tell them what it entails, because I think that's what they would be really interested in that aspect of it. You see some of them they must be saying firearm course, but
they probably have their own imagination what it might be.
What we going to really do?
Yeah.
Right. So and it's gonna be real fun. Listen for yourself.
So let's call and tell me now why
take it from the expert.
Would you do a tactical course? Of course, it's firearms we're talking. Yeah. Would you do a tactical course? Why? Why would you do it?
I want to do it again.
Yeah.
So I go link up. I write here. I don't know.
Remember, the question was also linked with the purpose of the firearm FUL for, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So FUL holders, firearm users, would you be interested in such a course to expand your knowledge? Because I mean, we don't know everything.
Yeah.
You know, you gain some tactical knowledge. What to do, what not to do, that kind of thing. Come on, call us up, man. Let's hear what's happening outside. Come on, let me say some love to my boy Dwayne Alexander. Electronics in Arima and the crew. Yeah. Love to you and the family, bro.
Only want to do no course
Nobody
again.
want to call me tonight last week from the time we said firearm, it was...
Oh God, was that fire? Was fire in the place? Only want to do no course again?
Only want to call me, we bring back.
Alright, well let me chuck some fire. Okay, who's that?
Alistair
Babulare.
My namesake, boy. Good night.
Yes, sir. Welcome first time. Welcome.
What are the qualifications of the trainers of the Firearm Instructors Regional Association, and what are their experiences? So clearly this person was not. Right, so I think, this is a first-time viewer. I think she's a first-time viewer. I think I've never
I'm not
seen
sure.
her. Not sure, but
we
would have divulged that last week.
Yeah.
So we'll just let them give you a quick overview of their qualifications and their experiences. Quick.
So I'll hand over the mic to Mr. Caruth to start.
A pleasant good night to the Gael family and also to my family at home who's listening. Basically, I started my training and certification with the NRA, National Rifle Association of America, where I became certified in several disciplines, some being pistol, shotgun, personal protection, and so forth. Continued our training association with other training entities and affiliated bodies. One would have been the International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association of the US, the International Association of Law Enforcement Firearm Instructors Association, the National Law Enforcement Firearm Association, and the International Association of Directors of Law Enforcement Standards and Training, where we got our certifications, which would have been Idolist. Experience, we have been participating in training and / competitions in the US, training alongside and competing alongside persons, law enforcement personnel from across the world. We represented Trinidad and Tobago in 2007, 2008 at the NPSC, that is the National Police Shooting Championship in New Mexico, under the National Rifle Association, and 2010, the Special Weapon and Tactics competition in Spartanburg, South Carolina. We have also continued our training and development program, suiting the needs of the persons who would be seeking training, and for ourselves also, bringing them online also with the main thing with the laws that govern us here and the tactical, practical, defensive purposes that people use firearms for. Thank you.
Right.
Serious business.
So, yeah, they don't play a game here.
Yeah, boy.
We have serious people we have inside here.
Yeah, qualification.
Fellas didn't come here to play, you know.
You know, this man have a whole bookshelf or something.
This is tomorrow, you know. If you really, that whole show.
Man have a revolving bookshelf with certificates.
You know, but the gentlemen here have overly qualified to speak about what they had to speak about tonight, right? So I hope you got that there, the information you would have wanted there to the new person there. That came from YouTube. That commentary. From YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so I said the person in the caller is strange. The comment is strange. Yeah. I don't know the commenter. But nevertheless,
thank you.
We have the coming in here, so let me get the ball rolling.
Very impressive.
Robert Abdab inside.
Yeah, man.
Niceness.
Nice. I just log into your program.
Yes, sir.
And let me find out something.
Tell me.
All right. Do you have to have a firearm user's license before buying a firearm, or could you buy a firearm and then get the license?
You must have a firearm user's license in order to purchase a firearm. You cannot buy legally
yeah.
purchase firearm without a license.
Legal. Caller, you there?
Caller, you there? Oh, the caller probably.
Probably go.
hang up. Yeah. Probably hang up. But
so we established that
before you buy your firearm, please go. Then you could go and get your firearm user certificate or whatever it is, right? Do not purchase a firearm without that, please. You end up in some problems.
Yeah, you know, that's serious.
Right?
That's
You
serious.
will end up in some problems, and it mightn't be too nice on your part. Get the necessary
Please get your
stuff.
FUL if you intend to want to own a firearm.
Right?
Get your firearm user's license. Alright, well, we hear one.
Are you still there?
Oh, yes,
yes,
we
yes.
waiting
waiting on you.
No, well, I raised the point because I was saying that I could buy a motor vehicle, which is also dangerous, extremely dangerous, without having a driver's permit. Like even a shop way to drive.
Yeah.
Right.
So why I can't buy a firearm if I don't have a firearm user's license?
Well, here's the thing. And I actually thought that was where the question was coming from. But even though that may seem logical, at the end of the day, we still have to be guided by legal,
By the law.
by the law.
By the law, yeah.
We have to be guided by what the law says. And our laws does not cater for that kind of scenario. Now, the thing with your driver, you can let somebody drive your vehicle.
But
They have to have their own permit.
Yeah. Well, you can't drive the vehicle without a permit.
Not only that, the thing is with a firearm, you can give somebody your firearm to use unless, one, they have to have either a firearm user's license, or in the case of an employer, that person will have to have a firearm user's employee's certificate. And in such a case, even the employer still have to have a firearm user's license to be able to give the employee their firearm to use on their behalf. So there's some logic in what you're trying to bring across, but unfortunately, our laws, we have to be guided by that. The law does not cater for somebody not having a firearm user's license to be able to purchase a firearm. It's just what it is. If we feel that is something that should change, then we need to take the necessary steps, talk to the necessary persons, make the necessary lobbies to get it all done. But we have to be guided by what the law says right now.
It doesn't make sense.
You know what community?
It really doesn't make sense.
It's a PH driver, why can't PH gun user?
Good one, good one.
It's among PH gun users, you know.
True.
You say that PH gun user.
No, but that's a very good point. Because, as I said, I thought that was where the angle was coming from. That's a very serious consideration.
Yeah.
But as I said, at the end of the day, we have to be guided by what the law is currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night to Dacia Williams.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thanks for calling,
yes,
buddy.
Man.
Very good.
Nice.
And you see, that's something. The law is so strange.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to train. I just go by license office, do a little 2 weeks drive, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And if I pass, I get a permit. And then but before I even do that, I can have a car park up home waiting. Because I can go the way things just go with buying and selling cars, it's be like, anybody could buy a car.
See, the thing is, I don't know if most people understand the responsibilities behind a firearm.
Yeah, I think that's what they're missing, Definitely.
So let's take, hold on a second. Let's take the...
Robert Abdabi inside. Good night to you, sir.
Good night.
Yes. How are you doing today?
Well, but if I go in any better, I have to be a twin. Nice. But putting into that same question.
Right.
Isn't it required for you to produce your FUL when you're going to purchase a gun?
Yeah,
that's what we said.
It is, yeah.
So therein, once it is a requirement that the merchandiser who's selling the firearm, that you have to produce your FUL. Riding, that is it gun riding?
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
No, we're talking about legally here.
Yeah, legally.
Right, because you could walk down the road and you could get a hire.
Yeah.
Right. So, because I mean, you have a lot of gun merchants that and first, any merchants have to be registered.
Yes. They have to be registered.
And also, when they bring in firearms, serial numbers have to be logged and all of this kind of thing.
Correct.
All right. Okay. Because I just looking at it now.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have a firearm in it. But it has some people, as the instructors rightly said, they have to be trained because it has some fellas, when they have a firearm on the side, they don't get powerful, stupid enough.
Yep.
They don't just believe that, they could do anything. This firearm, just give them a kind of...
Just give them power.
Yeah.
Yes. So training is really critical. So, fellas, good program as usual. Where is the next?
Thank you.
Oh gosh.
Oh, good. Got a spider on your thing.
Oh gosh.
You want to have firearm too?
Got a spider on your thing.
I just want to see a spider. like he waiting on his certificate down the road.
You
waiting on them to sign it. Yeah, you won't be here tonight. Alan has a lot of stuff happening. So hopefully by next week he might have some time for us.
You probably have a show this week.
I want to rough him up. William, I don't want to rough him up too much now.
William.
Yeah.
William. William.
Yeah?
You related to this fella here?
Which one?
This one here.
I don't know.
Mr. Andrew Williams, you related to him?
I wouldn't know. My name, the first name is William.
Oh, okay, right. All right.
The surname is Ashley.
Okay.
What? The boy, yeah. You're in the wrong side. Why you? You're in the wrong side. I like that one.
Right, man.
Yeah, buddy, thanks.
Yeah.
Nice,
All right, no
man.
problem. Take care, man.
Yeah, well, yeah.
David Grant, thank you. Good night. Ainsley Ahi. Yeah, man. Good night to you. Thanks for joining up. How long does it take to become an instructor? Well, before you all answer that, I want to come back to the first question because I was expecting people to call in, but like people afraid to call.
Yeah, boy. Last week
say
it was
what
on
you
fire. Last week it was on fire.
So,
what going on?
What has been your experience if you ask persons that, of course, people who are not in law enforcement, what has been the kind of responses you all got when you pose that to people?
Yes, they're very interested until we explain what a tactical program should entail.
Nice.
That is what they're waiting to hear.
I think that's what they want to hear.
When they hear that, then they go sit down and go
But
say,
probably during the week, they probably want to do some research and realize, wait, that's one tactic.
yeah, boy.
I think I want to do that. Yeah.
No, but we still want the
feedback.
The feedback.
Yeah.
We still want the engagement.
Yeah.
Let us hear your views.
Yeah.
Would you or would you not?
And why?
Yeah, the why is very important.
Get involved in that.
Somebody just asked a question.
How
long does it take
to become an
instructor?
An instructor is a lifestyle.
Well,
first you have to get the experience.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going. I think what they probably want to ask is that initial stage where you can start to operate as an instructor. Because as I said, that is continuous. That don't stop.
They don't stop.
But at least to get to that initial stage where you can, okay, I am now an instructor, so I'm from here going now, But how long to get to that point?
To that point?
Yeah.
Would take about 2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
We're talking about someone who has about 5 years experience.
Yeah.
Before.
Right.
Then you would do a basic instructor program. Then you would be certified as an instructor.
Okay.
After you certified as an instructor, it takes about 2 years to say, yes,
I am
now a certified instructor.
Okay.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Irina is asking, what does it entail? Well, I wanted to ask, how long does it cost?
What does it entail?
They say you do a basic instructor course. So
yes.
How long is that course?
That course is 10 days.
Okay.
10 days. Was that Mr. Clark?
I like that. For the foundation.
Yeah.
That's for the foundation.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So you see, I think we have to grasp the fact that, yes, you're hearing 2 years and 10 days, but it actually takes a lot more than just that. Because you now have to train somebody else. I think that is the most important thing there. After you finish, you have to train somebody else. So you have to really, really take it upon yourself to really gather the information and the knowledge that the gentleman would give to you. You have to soak up everything. Because you can't come out after 10 days and you can't remember what is this, what is that, how to do this, what you're supposed to do. You have to call Mr. Caruth to find, this now, I really think, but
But not only that, as Andrew said, you first have to have some experience on that.
And you have to have
you can't just walk up the street and in 10 days,
you
use a certified instructor, you could not teach people.
Like that.
It don't work so.
And that's why we say the foundation. That's just the foundation. Training is continuous. It's over and over and on and on and on. Mr. Williams would have his room to train every day, every other day?
Every day.
Every day. So you see, so don't look at it as just going and sit down in our class for 10 days and boom. And look somebody saying to have men out here doing 2 and 3 days course and calling themselves master instructions. That is not really right.
Mr. Bradley. Mr. Bradley.
What you pronouncing it? Fang Fu?
You're bringing thing.
Bradley Fang Fu?
All right.
Fang
But
Fu.
that's a very good point.
Bradley, behave yourself. You make people...
And that's what we are about.
2-3 days
Education,
course,
getting it right. Getting
and
the
3
thing
days
right.
course, and I could come and say, hey, Eric, come, let me train you how to use some firearm here. 3 days, boy?
Yeah, boy.
With how much experience before that 3 days?
Nah, boy, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Nah, boy. Something is wrong into right just with that.
It's crazy.
You see, once most better realize your objective as a trainer, and we like to use the word carefully, the instructor word, because the instructor is somebody who will tell you what to do. A trainer will tell you how to do it properly.
Correct.
So I could come and instruct you to do this and do that, not getting the why or the how, but I said to do it. So that has been my experience to some level of some of the experiences people would have shared. Being trained is when you leave, you can operate at a particular point on your own.
On your own. Yeah. And I think that's the concept they need to grasp.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, that's where you stop.
Yeah.
And somebody else either has to take over, or you now have to find yourself in the next part of the course. Because we know it's not just 10 days.
Yeah.
Right? Look, somebody's asking what does the
I realize
tactical...
this was not the
That's
second time.
That's what they want to know.
They want to know.
They want to know.
They want to know what they're in for.
So what you can share on
Right.
this?
Just before you hit them, I want to throw that question.
Yes.
All right, so let's say you're in law enforcement or a family member in law enforcement, and they say there are 2 persons or armed persons in that house, and your husband, brother, wife, sister is a law enforcement person. What would they need and what would they have to go and deal with that situation? So think about it while Mr. Williams will continue with his part.
So, Miss Victory wants to do a tactical program. So I'll ask Miss Victory. Can you run a mile in 10 minutes? Can you do sit-ups? 30 sit-ups in 1 minute. Are you willing to put on a Kevlar helmet, bulletproof vest, sidearm, primary firearm, which can be submachine gun or a rifle, knee pads, and run towards gunfire?
Jeez.
Are you willing to leave the comfort of your home to go to your next door neighbor's home whose home is invaded by 4 vicious criminals? Are you willing to leave your home 2 o'clock in the morning when you hear someone is screaming to go and rescue them? That is one part. Now you are armed. So you are a firearm holder armed. Text us and tell us what type of firearm you would like and what accessories you would like on that firearm. Texas.
Wait, what type of accessories you would like on your...
Seriously.
Oh my gosh. You
Yeah,
see,
they're coming in fast and furious. You know.
they're coming in. You know.
Yeah,
And look at this one.
Barbara
So,
Small?
It's a big question. Yeah.
Barbara Small. Does having a past criminal record prohibit you from becoming an instructor?
Yes, it would.
It would, because I don't think you can even get a FUL with a criminal record. So, part of becoming an instructor is having a FUL because you're learning firearms and you're learning to train people how to use firearms. So definitely it may hamper you, unless for some reason, probably a record was expunged by the court or some kind of thing. I don't know. Right? But as now, if you have a criminal record, it will prohibit you from becoming a FUL holder and a firearm instructor. To answer the question. Unfortunately.
Or fortunately,
Based on the criminal past. You know, and I don't know if you guys saw the video, and it was sad and amazing and senseless at the same time. A gentleman was killed in Santa Cruz. I believe it's Santa Cruz. And now you can see that based on from the video, I would, with my little experience, I could tell that it was a high-powered weapon because you hear it non-stop. And the report the next day was 100 spent shells collected. And these fellas and them had to be crazy because people was scampering. There was looked like a little mini mart or something. And then you going off behind two fellas. The two fellas run. Unfortunately, one didn't escape. But all these is reasons why we really need to look at the Firearm Act and really find ways to stop the spread of this illegal firearm in this country. We have too much illegal firearms in this country. That's a whole different topic by itself. But I mean, looking at that video, I tell you, hearing this thing in the and you just seen sparks all on the ground, on people's car, on the wall.
What?
Yeah, it was terrible. I tell you. The report the next day was over 100 spent shells collected by the forensic officers.
Wow.
And these people have no kind of training whatsoever. So guess what? They probably can't even control a recoil in their hand. So that means that weapon going. If you probably on the side of them, you and all might get it. If you stand up next to them, you might get it too.
Yeah.
So I mean, having a criminal past, I mean, we had a. What's the legal age to be or apply for FUL? Well, probably what, over 18?
Yeah, 25 years.
25 years.
Yes, you have to be 25.
You have to be 25 years and over. And guys, I mean, some people just get afraid, some people get turned away from trying to obtain a FUL because when they see the process and how strenuous it is.
Yeah.
Right? But don't be afraid. I mean, if you believe that you need a firearm, because that's one of the main things they will ask. Why do you need a firearm? You can have how much business, how much this, how much house, how much car. That question, if you didn't answer that question to the best of your abilities, you can get turned back.
But to bring it back to the connection with the car, that shows something. You could get a driver's permit from as early as 16. From 16 years, you could get a driver's permit.
So,
firearm, if you're 25.
Let's look at it this way.
Big difference.
And some not true, not everybody saw. I want to ponder on it. Somebody who has been arrested and remanded for shooting, murder. Averaging, how long would it take for that person to stay in remand before the case really starts?
By the time the case starts, when the case finishes, they might just send him home.
We're looking at average about 10 years.
10, 15.
The average, we're looking at average.
Years, yeah.
So then it goes to the High Court, right, after 10 years.
Yeah. And the
So
High Court
the state will be representing also.
Right.
So High Court, let's take how long? 6 months? We're working with averages.
Yeah.
Like 10 years and 6 months.
Yeah.
Person loses and decide to appeal. They go to the appeal court. So that's 3 judges. And let's say 6 months ago.
Yeah.
They lose and they are sent to the condemned and decide to go Privy Council.
Right.
But because of the match on program, Morgan, they say 5 years or you have to. Right. So, 4th year, the Privy Council comprised of several judges. The state representing also. So that's 10 years, 11 years, and 4. 15 years, and how much money you feel the state might spend from the first day of incarceration to then. So let's say I've been conservative, 10 million.
Yeah, as in fees, different fees and whatnot.
So a panel of magistrate, judge, 3 appeal, and how much Privy Council is 5?
About 5.
Right. That's about how much persons? I lost count. 10 persons.
About 10 going.
10 persons, $10 million, and 15 years to take a life. You do that in 2 seconds with something that costs him $2.50. That is your responsibility. So buying a car and getting a gun is 2 different things.
2 totally different things.
Way different. Somebody just asked a question there.
Let me take this one.
EJ, run back
Rub it up the inside.
What is age limit for being instructed?
Good night, we hearing you, man.
Tell me this thing, right? If you get a firearm, where is this misconception coming from that if I shoot somebody, I'm gonna go to jail? Where is this nonsense?
I lost the question.
But I kind of lost.
Well, he said there's a misconception that if he shoots someone that he's going to go to jail. But I don't think
You probably.
I pull it on here too.
Oh, good.
Right.
Sorry about that. Some idiots just passed.
Well, I don't think at any time between last week and tonight we would have said if you shoot somebody, you would go to jail. We would have said that if, in the event that you do, you have a FUL and you shoot somebody, there is the possibility that based on after the investigations that would be held, there is a possibility, sir, that you can end up before the court. Right? And people have to understand that when you are put before the court, the onus is not on the prosecution as much as it is on you to prove your innocence. Because I am the complainant, I am bringing you. So you have to come and tell the magistrate, X, Y, and Z, I did it because of X, Y, and Z, whatever happened, blah, 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 blah. So we're not saying that if you shoot somebody, it automatically means that, hey, I shoot this man, I have a FUL, I'm going in jail. There is an investigation that has to happen. You need to understand that any shooting incident in this country, whether it be FUL holder, security guard, police, there will be an investigation and then it will be taken from here. So the caller is calling back. Yeah.
Let's call her.
Go ahead.
No, just to clarify a little bit on the question there. Not the information coming from you, where is that misconception coming from with the current FUL holders?
Okay.
Thanks for clarity. Thanks for the clarity.
Well, current FUL holders would supposed to learn the law. So they would have an idea as to what could and what could not.
No, but you see,
I am in primary school and I'm preparing for SEA. Who's supposed to teach me? Am I to teach myself?
The teacher.
But if I have a FPL, supposed to have a competency.
Correct.
and your competency is supposed to entail certain things to inform you. As I said, when you finish training, you are supposed to be at a level where you can think and operate at yourself. Yes, you will be continuing building, but you must have a platform where you can operate independently. And you're not going to wait until something happens, because of the information you already have, you'll be able to assess situations and deal with it appropriately. So it comes back now to the question that is being posed, where the misconception comes from, probably from misinformation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly where I was going to go that direction, because it's just like the person asking if I'm supposed to read the act before I shoot the man.
Yeah.
When he in my house.
Yeah.
You're supposed to read the act way before that.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to use the training that you would have gathered in that situation.
Yeah.
So it goes back one to competency, as we were just saying, situational awareness. We spoke about that last week. And tactical training. Because shoot somebody who doesn't have a firearm.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see, you're going to understand exactly why it was important to understand situational awareness, competency, and learning the law.
I see, it goes back to the point somebody made earlier. Somebody do a 2-day course and they calling themselves a certified instructor.
Yeah.
So imagine you know,
yeah,
that is the kind of person giving you advice and counsel and
yeah.
obviously you're going with wrong information.
Yeah, with wrong information, yeah. So this guy is saying who training these people and who giving them the competency. Well, we know who training these two gentlemen here. Yeah. We know who trained them. And we know that they continually train. And every 2 years, right? Every 2 years they have to go and be retrained, recertified. Anybody else? The man Bradley with the 2 and 3 days course?
Oh gosh.
We can't.
No, that's scary. You know?
We can't talk for them fellas.
That's scary, you know. I see.
We can't talk for them fellas and them with the 2 and 3 days course.
No,
we cannot speak
I'll
for
tell
them.
you why that's
Sorry.
scary. Because, and I want to come back to the question before this. What's the minimum age for somebody to try to become?
Yes.
Why that's scary? Because after spending X amount of time in training in law enforcement and seeing men who spend weeks to months with firearms, waking up every day, doing all kind of things, and see the kind of mess they make. I can imagine somebody just going and do a 2-day course and say there's an instructor coming to teach me what? How competent are you after 2 days with a firearm that you're now learning to hold for the first time? Nah.
And Miss Victory asks a very pertinent question there. How long it takes to be an instructor?
Yeah.
So let us say I went and get my FUL at age 25. 26, 27, 28, 29. So at age 29, I am certified as an instructor in 4 systems: pistol, shotgun, rifle, submachine gun. That is not practical. That is not practical.
It doesn't sound practical at all.
If you do a pistol program, the standards that we have, we follow the idealist standard, which is the International Association of Law Enforcement Directors of Standards and Training. And they have standards that you must follow. After a person is certified as an instructor, he or she is then mentored by a senior instructor for a year. That senior instructor would then sign off on you as saying, okay, you are competent and you are now recognized as a certified instructor.
Right, that's it.
But it doesn't stop there. Every year, you must attend an assessment. The assessment is not to mash you up, to degrade you or anything. It is to build you. Because you wouldn't learn everything in that year.
Yeah.
So The
But this is
assessment
continuous.
is continuous. It's a building process.
Yeah.
So when someone come and tell you, I am certified to do this, you need to question it.
Yeah, because 10 years ago, the fire you would have been certified with then, they don't even use that anymore.
Or the system
Correct.
that you would use.
So you don't have to upgrade your
You
training.
have to upgrade your training.
Competent with, yeah, current standard.
As you gentlemen would know, in 1983, in the 80s, we used to shoot like this.
Yeah.
No, you shoot like this.
My first firearm call was at Wembley.
Right.
You don't even hear that name calling anymore.
And 6 rounds.
Yeah, you understand? Don't forget the question, what the age?
Yes, right.
Solange, how you going?
How you going?
Nice to see you.
You wouldn't call it the next name, but
Would you encourage individuals to take
a tactical firearm course? If yes, and why?
But I want to answer.
If yes,
to answer the next one before this.
But you all not answering our question.
Would
you? You heard.
Do you?
You got us a snippet of what the course could entail. Are you willing to do the things that the gentleman said a while ago?
I was kind of leaning on yes, but when you said that part about the Kevlar helmet and thing,
a Kevlar
and
helmet
running into fire,
and a bulletproof vest.
If that fire is like fire from a stove here, I can take that one. But if the fire is wait,
yeah.
I ain't too sure.
And you know, and as we on this training thing, I went to the bank about a week or so back, and something I noticed with security officers, state constables, I should say. Let me don't say security officers, because those banks have security. So they are, yes, they belong to a security company, but they are state constables, right? But me walking into the bank, this state constable who is armed comes up to me, yes, sir, what are you here to do? And in my mind, I wanted to ask him, well, what's your purpose here? Because to me, you are a state constable armed with a firearm to protect.
Yeah.
Right? But whatever mandate these institutions have, you know, and telling me, okay, if you go to this counter here, and if you go...
He behave like customer service.
Right?
Customer service representative.
So now I'm like, this man is the CSR.
Yeah.
Because you greeted me by the door. So are they well trained that well? So this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going.
Yeah.
Are they trained that well to be customer service and me here and have an eye watching to see if anybody coming to do anything at that institution?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. And whoever come up with that mandate at those banks, you all need to look at that and check that over. Because that can't be right.
Yeah.
That can't be right. It can't be right. You can't have security officers, because some managers of the view that if I stand up there too long, it's looking like I ain't doing nothing. When they don't understand, there's a reason of standing up there in where I am standing, because I have a 180 view of everything that's happening in front of me, but they don't understand that. So from the time I walk up to you, you walk up to me and you talking to me. So supposing now it's me and my partner, we come in to do things. And as you walk up to me, I tackle you one time. What you going to do? And the next two of them, and the next one talking to the person on the next side. In a bank. Robert Dub, William.
Yes, Alistair.
Tell me.
I just spinning off of that same topic you just talked about.
Right.
For me, I believe that I'm not even supposed to see the security officer. Because if your work is to observe, you're supposed to be at certain positions in the bank that the bandit who coming in must know where you are So for the element of surprise.
Yep.
Because here what happens, these fellas and them just do their homework. They will come and scope out and look at what happens and plan for when they're coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know where you are, I know your movements and everything, you're making my work easy. But if I am somewhere in the back, you know I'm in the back, or you don't know where am I. So then now I have the element of surprise on you. What do you think about that?
I agree 100, William. 100. Because as you walk up to me nice, I just do so. Don't move and give me a weapon.
But this is the thing.
What are you going to do? You're going to try to pull it at that point? At that point?
I don't know.
At that point, when your goose done cook, and looking for them to share, somebody come with a knife and fork to what's that?
Not along that line, but ours.
Again.
I'll wait until we finish it.
Again, that is where training and situational awareness and everything that's coming.
Yeah.
100% agree. Some of these security companies, sorry to say, it's 2x4.
Fly by night.
Fly by night. How they get lights and all kind of things, I don't know. But some of the banks will take them. Why?
Cheap.
Price is right.
Cheap labor.
Yep.
Cheap labor.
Price is right.
And you can tell them to do what they want.
Yeah. But
you understand?
why
Yes,
all I gonna say, they are one of the premier security companies in this country, Premier. And the price is probably very. The next one after Premier. I don't want to say the next one. You go figure it out. No, I mean it might sound funny, but that's so serious. And that to me, William, that is complacency. Because you're taking it that nobody would really take the chance to try to rob a bank. Really? You taking that, boy?
But you see, no, here's another side to look at with them.
Complacency are the state member.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
Thanks,
man, take it right. Now, here's another element, and I'm saying this from knowledge. So, the estate constable has been placed there on behalf of a company. Go ahead, take it.
What up, Dobby? Inside.
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night. We hear you.
Alright, this is a question for Mr. Williams and Mr. Caruth as instructors.
Right.
Not usually security agencies and other law enforcement agencies, they train persons to shoot at a kill target, to my understanding. Where is the situational awareness there? Where is the situational scenario rule? How do they know how to interpret when something is coming at you?
Explain it again. Caller there?
Yeah.
Yes. Say that again. Bring the question again.
Most of the time, the security companies and law enforcement units, they train officers to destroy the time and shoot at the target. Is it that they get trained externally to institutional awareness training?
Caller, we can't answer that question. unless our guests have personally interacted with any security company in this country, they may be able to answer the question, but
No, let me
I
tell
don't-
you.
I don't know.
Before you answer.
No.
No, I want to add something. I hear the question is a very valid question.
Yeah, it is.
So as the firearm instructors,
Yeah.
would they approve of that kind of trick for these law enforcement?
All right,
and
you'll answer. Are you
All right, I'll answer it in this way.
Thanks, caller.
What we do, we take the range to the classroom, and we take the street to the range. That is what we do. We cannot say what other instructors do, but we take the range to the classroom, and we take the street to the range.
So you might understand the heights.
Well, I want to play this video that I think will bring some clarity to what the person just asked. So caller and everybody, take a look at this and you will see the difference between the training that these guys offer. I think what you need to take away is that they are talking from the perspective of what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. What is the correct?
Not what necessarily is happening. And I like that point the caller made.
That's
this is what they're doing.
That's a valid point.
And I wanted, before I go to that place, I wanted to make the point just now. What could be happening in that case is, and I'm saying it because I've seen it up before going into law enforcement and stuff. I did some work with security folks. I know they operate. So the security company or the estate constable service, they would have had some discussion with the whatever the entity, the bank or the wherever. Somewhere along the line, the entity would say, listen, when your guys there, I want them to be involved in this and to help do that and ding. The security company might say, no, that's not what they're there for. The next thing is, well, we need people who are that flexible and think so. You threaten me now that I might lose the contract.
Some might give in.
So they give in because they want to keep the work.
Yeah.
And they tell the guy, listen, when you're there, so if
the
they
manager
take,
go tell you,
thing,
you go get
show
your
people
hand,
where the
give
toilet
your hand,
is, and, you know, if you're going to car park and help somebody, and so they're in a position because you want to keep your work, obviously, so you give in.
Yeah.
But what point Alistair is making is
right before you put on that, I see nobody answering Andrew's question, so I throw out a question to you all now.
Yeah.
Since last week, we gave you all FULs, right? And I wanted to know all those who have the FUL for the purpose that we give it for, will use it to kill. So you could call in and give a response. If the purpose of a firearm for is to kill.
Serious question.
So let's hear the question.
Yeah. So think about it, but for those who may have missed it, take a look at the level of training.
Take the video,
that
take
these
the
guys
video. I'm going to talk about it.
So I want everyone to shoot straight and have fun. Thank you. My name is Brian Caruth. I'm the Chief Range Safety Officer for today's operation. There were team and individual competitions taking place. In the team competition, there were 5 stages. The first stage was the maze, where one officer was blindfolded and being guided through by his colleague. The whole idea of the competition, that stage, was to have officers communicate, giving instructions and taking. It ended with a course of fire where they had to engage 3 targets while seated. The second stage was also a communication-based stage, where the officers had to engage several threats through a window. They had to communicate to each other by using wireless sets. The fourth stage was an information stage, where the officers had to run and engage targets, several targets, and engage in a couple also, attaining points in that division. The fourth stage was barricade, where officers were given the opportunity to practice using cover while engaging threats from different angles from a kneeling position at varying distances. The fifth stage was a marksmanship-based program where at 25 yards, officers had to engage balloons with no shoot indicators, which would be different colored targets. In the individual, we had a scenario where there was an officer injured and he was down. His colleague had to drag him to cover while engaging several threats, pulling him to cover under fire. Second stage, from a sitting position, the officer had to get up without using his hands with a 20-pound weight on his back, engaging several targets at varying distances. This was done to have the officers recognize that their fitness levels as law enforcement officers needed to be enhanced. Third stage was using cover at a low angle. Officers were shooting from a low position, approximately 8-12 inches off the ground, engaging targets several yards downrange. The last was a simulation of a duty patrol where an officer was sitting in a vehicle engaging multiple threats at an angle through his open window. The last stage culminating the entire event for both divisions was the fastest draw in TMT, where you had 1 round to draw and fire from your holster from a retention position with the retention on the firearm. The entire course was organized on the basis of having officers recognize the need for training, the type of training they need, and the proper mindset. And I must say today, it was demonstrated that the law enforcement fraternity in Trinidad, there are a lot of professionals, because there were stages where penalties were awarded to teams, and the officers were honest enough to admit that they had caused infractions, thereby awarding points to the other team. And that in itself made the whole exercise a success, where the professionalism, the honesty, and the character of officers were tested today. And I must say the camaraderie that we want to develop, we have seen it growing. So again, I just want to thank all the competitors, spectators, the special guests who were here today. Thank everyone for coming out and making today a success. And as I said, may the best man or woman win. Thank you.
So guys, you see the kind of training that these fellas do. I
feel a feeling like, they must be feeling like, oh, me I know FPL, why you going to do that for?
Yeah. And listen, let me say it. I could say, I spent the day with those guys when they were doing these courses. A couple of guys and myself, we did the video and recording and stuff. So you see everything there.
Yeah, a snippet.
But there's a lot that was happening, the level of safety, and there's a key thing that them fellas just establishing over and over and over. Safety, 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 right through. Not just about I have a firearm and I do a 2-day course and that is it. No.
Yeah.
Nah, it's serious, it's serious.
So the question was, is the purpose...
Right, I'm not going to say this. We have this question.
So we have a question here, but the question asked by Mr. Caruth, is the purpose of your firearm simply to kill someone, to take a life? Somebody come in your house, you don't like him, but no. Is that the purpose of your firearm?
Well, you got to go and make up an excuse as to why.
Understand? Answer the question. We want to hear your thoughts.
What do you think?
So what is the age limit for trying to become an instructor?
I like that, for trying.
Trying, eh? I like how she put
trying.
So you acquire your FUL at 25.
Right.
You have at least 4 years experience.
Okay.
Before you could think about becoming an instructor. So that experience would come from you going on the range on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Not once a month.
Yeah.
Regular basis, like once a week.
Okay.
To gain that experience. Then you will have a year after you do the instructor program, which is a week.
Let's take it.
William, good night.
For me,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You're breaking up a little bit, Wiley.
Huh?
You break up a little bit there. Say it again.
You're hearing me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
we are
Inside.
I say for me, the purpose of my firearm is to protect myself and my family. If, however, someone gets killed, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not going to shoot it just like that. But if you come in my territory, in my domain, in my house, brother man, be prepared to go in a body bag. Because it's either, because when you come in there, I don't know what you have in your mind. And I'm not waiting to find out. I defend the territory. And I to defend that in court. If you want to have a bad question, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not waiting to find out if you're going to shoot for.
Yeah.
You're coming my territory. And as I always say, you might, nothing wrong in coming in, you know.
Yeah.
And you might be able to leave.
You might have to pay to go out.
But that is the problem. Because in my house,
yeah,
I'm supposed to know every corner of my house in the dark.
Yes.
You can come in and I'm supposed to know every corner of my house in the dark. So again, element of the first.
Nice.
Right.
Thank you, William.
Anybody else? See Mr. Pascal.
Mr. Pascal is saying if after taking part in a training program in your organization and I am involved in a shooting, can you defend me or my actions before a court of law? I can answer that question.
Yes. Of course.
Yes, Mr. Pascal, we would. And how would we know that you took part in a training course with us? Records.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how would we know what was taught?
So you know the competencies, you know what they're capable of.
And then we have things that will guide us as to what we teach. So where you get that from? You make that up? No.
Yep.
We have manuals. So everything we do is guided by a standard. And the standard would operate, as I said, within the confines of the law and operating systems. So the question I asked just now, the time with this. Now, I don't want the caller to misunderstand what I'm going to say. So listen carefully. As an FUL holder, you don't have a firearm to kill anybody. You have it to stop the threat. If the patient dies and the operation was a success, understand the point I'm making? Because if it is designed to kill, after the immediate threat has stopped, I will continue doing what I'm doing because my objective is to do what? Kill you. So put it in the context I'm saying, do not misunderstand. Your FUL is not to kill anybody, but to stop threat.
Yeah.
And they know that. That is why we are bound by policy.
Use of force policy.
To render medical aid.
Yeah.
So if me and my partner on patrol, and I now see my partner get shot, and the threat is stopped with injury, if it's designed to kill, I'll just finish him. But it's to stop threat. So get it, understand what I'm saying, and don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Right? So the mindset we're talking about is that we're coming from. Because if we start with the mindset is to kill, we'll go wrong with the ideas. No matter what happens, this is the end result I'm going to end up with.
Yeah.
And you see what you said there? If you shoot me in my foot and I'm on the ground and they come and shoot me again, Mr. Caruth wouldn't tell all you, he wouldn't say it, I will tell all you that is murder. I will let you all know right now. And if they prove it, in the sentence they'll prove it guilty. And trust me, they can prove it. Because they will know exactly how close, how far, they will know everything. That is the first thing.
This is a camera too.
It has everything. Every
So
single thing. Every single thing. They know, they will know. So, grasp the concept, the intention. See that word, if you don't know the meaning of that word, look it up. Intention. Because that's what they will drill in a court of law. They wouldn't study the man coming in, you know. They wouldn't study the man in your house. The defense in studying the man was in your house. They want to know what was your intention when you saw that gentleman inside your house. And from the minute you feel we have a FUL, and your intention is to kill that man because he's in your house, they're gonna deal with you. They're gonna eat you. They're gonna eat you alive. They're gonna eat you.
I like this point here. Is there miscommunication between competence and receiving your FUL? That people do not understand the difference between shooting to stop a threat and shooting to kill. Shooting, by definition, is not killing. That's a solid point right there.
Ways done. That's a real good point, my brother. What's
Just let me clear up Miss Victory's question.
Right, yes.
They keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
It seems like we don't want to answer it, but we would answer it. So the person is certified.
Yeah.
So you have 25 years to get your FUL, 4 years experience.
Prior to
being an instructor.
All right. Before you go further, I want to ask, I think, an obvious question on my cup. How do you acquire that experience? Especially if you're not in law enforcement.
You can go to one of the shooting ranges in Trinidad and Tobago and get that shooting experience.
Okay.
Glad you bring that point.
See, yeah.
Reason being, you will understand what you say, not in law enforcement.
Yeah.
So there's a differentiation between law enforcement instructor and a civilian instructor.
Yes.
And it's not a airline division. It's a 100 feet division.
Yeah. You see, the other reason why I said that is because, for obvious reasons, the law enforcement officer, almost every day, they're handling their firearms, and depending on whether they're actually using it on a regular basis. Whereas somebody who's not have to now engage, as I said, the different private ranges or whatever, go and spend time, you know, to get the practical hands-on use.
But the law enforcement officer do have to spend time on the range also.
No, I know, I'm saying, yeah, I know, I understand that. What I'm saying, by nature of their job,
right,
they automatically have more time with their firearm.
Yeah, they handle.
So they can spend time learning how to strip and mount, they learn how to clean, and because they do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, definitely there will be some range exercises as well. And then in the execution of the job, again, certain sections, they also involved in some shooting, some, you know.
Right.
But the person, the civilian, you have none of that. So you now have to make the time, schedule on, as they say, a weekly basis or whatever, to make sure you go by the range and, you know. Yeah. Just wanted to make that point.
And now, we look at, you are certified, one as a law enforcement officer, a law enforcement instructor, and a civilian instructor. Law enforcement officer, law enforcement instructor has the autonomy to design his or her program.
Okay.
Because remember, in law enforcement, you have different sections would require different training.
Yeah.
It is not one size fit all.
Yeah. There are response, people doing rapid response now. You know, that kind of thing.
Right. You have, even now, well, there have always been, officers have to go on search and rescue.
Yeah.
So, the instructor has to know all these things.
Yeah.
Whereas a civilian instructor would be able to tell you about, or should be able to tell you about, the law, how and when to use a fire. Now, I would like to pose a question. So you got your FUL holder as a law enforcement officer.
Right.
Who would you go to for training?
Bring that, what's that question again?
As a law enforcement officer, you got your FUL.
Right.
But you want to start to expand your training because you now have a personal firearm that you can work with. Who would you go to for training?
Very good question.
So I pose it
They come by Mr. Williams.
Well, now we know.
Who all you want again?
Now we know.
All you see
I
the
will-
gentlemen with the certifications, qualifications, experience.
Yeah.
You going by the 3 days, man?
Yeah, so cool.
Well, you going by the 3 days, man?
That is a serious thing. I don't
That's
reason
a
I'm coming
serious
here.
thing.
Harriet Jeremiah, I wish there's more discussions like this throughout the region and also
In the US.
here in the US.
Well, you know, gun thing in the US, there's a whole,
Yeah.
a whole big topic in the US these days right now, you know, with this gentleman from, where you from? Is he a Republican governor? He want to, he doing his own thing, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's Texas.
Okay.
Doing his own thing. Tell them, don't wear no mask.
It's Texas.
I in charge, don't wear no mask. Stop that shippiness. You want gun? Hold gun. You want a gun?
DeSantis?
That easy, man.
DeSantis?
He different.
Yeah.
He all different. And I like what the DeSantis doing you. Like he's president. I tell people don't wear no mask. So they strike him down a couple times and things. But I mean, nevertheless.
So Mr. Williams, I was one of the persons who wanted to do the tactical program, and I want that answer before. And the reason why I want to do a tactical program because I watch on YouTube and I see some men driving and next man busting some shots out of a window, and I see two men doing that, playing in a house and things. So
Yeah.
I want to do a tactical program.
No, you'd like to do my tactical program.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Caruth, for your information.
You want to take it first or you want to go ahead?
Take it.
Robert Abdab inside.
Nice, thank you so much.
Nice man, Blacks.
Should there be a registry at these training centers or these range that you will be able to advise law enforcement agencies that these people are coming in for training, gun training, let's put it like honesty. Because what I'm listening here might be good, but at the same time, if people start entering this room for professional training without what about the FUL or what's
The FUL, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have that. And you have these people on the street here with that type of training. And the what is to be good to tell you to learn to do. What you have in place at these ranges within the public training and law enforcement don't know what type of training you have within the
Alright, what the caller is asking is if the rangers have checks and balances. And I would say yes. The rangers, I know, yes, they are very strict.
Yeah.
Checks and balances. Number one, you cannot go to no range in Trinidad and Tobago and say, I come to shoot. It's not the
like
US.
that.
Yeah.
That is one. Two, you cannot go to no range in Trinidad and Tobago and produce an FUL and they don't check you out.
Yeah.
They do check you out. Because, you know, we have some really great masterminds here.
Yeah.
If they're making $100 bill,
They could make more than make a
gold
FUL.
paper, they
Yeah.
could make a FUL.
Wow.
So what the rangers do, you check it to verify that you are who you say you are. So that law enforcement would not have a problem.
Yeah.
No.
So to answer your question, yes, there are checks and balances. Now he mentioned, he mentioned that to the people who don't have FULs and if they go on to the training course, well, we know, as we said before, if you don't have a FUL, they would not be allowed onto a range in the first place.
Exactly.
That's the first thing they ask you to provide. Where's your FUL? Where's your document? Whatever. What type of firearm do you own? You have your because they have a FUL and they have documents for your firearm, people. Don't feel it just buy a firearm and you have a receipt for it.
Yeah.
Right? That ballistic report, all these different type of things.
We was referring to that scenario with the politician and the family.
I mean, oh gosh.
I just say
somebody asked. There's a pertinent question here.
Yeah.
Right? When you have a FUL, does it give you the right to own any type of firearm?
As is stated on the FUL.
Yeah.
So the FUL would have the type of firearm. Because I think
shotgun, rifle.
The second to last thing you would do is take when you're almost there is when they would tell you, well, okay, now sir, you can organize the purchase of firearm and bring it to us. I think that's how it is.
No.
Okay.
When you are there.
When you're filling out the form, right?
No, when you are there, when you get the approval letter.
Right, that's it. I was trying to read the letter of approval. Yeah, you have to carry the firearm in, and they do the ballistic and all that fancy thing, and then. So the only way you can purchase a firearm, you must get approval from the Commissioner of Police, because before you get the FUL, they have to know the type of weapon you would be using. That's what we see, and they would do a ballistic on the weapon to have it in record. So when you do fire that weapon, yes, they will know exactly that is your weapon.
So wait. So which commissioner gonna give you a weapon?
Yeah, which commissioner?
The new one. Letter of approval. That's in the process.
For what?
No.
In the process of getting your firearm, right?
Any what?
Your FUL, sorry.
No. Repeat what, forget the FUL. What you said before FUL?
The firearm.
Right. Because just now they never have a firearm, you know.
Yeah.
You had a weapon.
Yeah. Oh, you mean before? Yeah. So that one I was corrected. And he said when you get the letter of approval. Yes. Good evening, Stephen.
Hey,
Rose. What's up?
So that statement you're in a victory.
Yes.
Because so we look at what, 30 now?
30, yeah. Mm-hmm. We reach about
30. But it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
So we're looking now at an extra year for you to now be certified as an instructor in one system. So we're looking at from 25 to 30, minimum 30 years to be an instructor.
And I think that is just the grassroots.
Yeah.
Because you ain't really do nothing. You ain't do too much there yet.
No.
Yeah. Let's put it this way now. I'm a pistol instructor. But within that framework, pistol, I can also be a concealed carry pistol instructor.
Right.
Because the firearm could consider a pistol.
Yeah.
I can also be a low light operator instructor using a pistol.
Right.
I can also be a tactical pistol instructor. Because I would start off with my basic pistol.
Yeah.
Right.
So within one discipline, see how much branches have.
Yeah.
So the same thing is a continuous as a lifetime.
Yeah. And I think that's what you all need to grasp. It's not just about coming and going on your 3 days thing and they get a certificate.
Are you criticizing my 3 day program?
Yeah. No, not yours. Do you know how much 3 day program? I would highly doubt that you would have a 3 day program unless it's just 3 days to come and sit down and talk to you and get to know you and see all your certificates and things. Well then but the man with the 3 days, aside from instructor, what other courses do you all offer at FIRA? Situational awareness, right?
Low light.
Low light.
Use of force.
Use of force policy.
Verbal
No,
judo.
not use of force policy.
Use of force.
Yes,
oh,
use of
okay,
force.
right. Use of force.
Verbal judo.
Is that one?
Verbal judo.
Verbal
Verbal
judo.
judo.
Verbal judo.
Okay. So
So we go expunge on that one just now.
For instance, the situational awareness.
Yes.
How long is that course? Somebody wants to do that.
It's a full day course.
Okay.
But that is all the course will be base foundations to build.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
So you start here
Yeah.
and then move
Yeah.
on and
Yeah,
then go up
build,
and then
yeah,
go up.
build.
Right. Let me send some love to Patricia. But T's
Well,
coming
the
up.
Queen
Good
is-
night, gentlemen. She's sending all the love ups to the four of us. She says she now reach.
Yeah.
Welcome, Patricia. Welcome. It's always good to have you here with us on the Rubber Dub, man. Yeah. So guys, I mean, grasp the concept of what we're talking about. It's not just about coming for 10 days and is an instructor.
No.
It doesn't, it has nothing. Right? Yes, after 10 days you might get some type of certificate, but that does not certify you to train anybody to use any firearm. It goes on and on until you finish your mentorship maybe. And after that gentleman says, okay, he is now competent.
It's serious, boy.
Yeah, it's serious business here. But to the FUL holders, the question is still posed to you. Would you be interested in a tactical course or program?
Why?
And why? To the FUL holders. So anybody out there with a FUL
Everybody
holder?
have FUL. We give everybody FUL.
Right. Everybody have a FUL.
Everybody have a-
So it's a matter if you want to come down to do the tactical course.
Everybody.
So you have your
right?
you have
Now
your fire.
go and see Rubber Dub. If you want a FUL, you can watch the show. do not take it on yourself to go and tell your partner, boy, next week Tuesday, why FUL? You don't watch the show. All they know all the Trinidadian tricky. Next thing is because Mr. J calling to find out who we are giving FUL. Let me take this one. Rubber Dub inside.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
I want to go back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I own a firearm for 26 years now.
Right.
26 years I have a firearm. I was trained in the army for very expensive years. I was shot once because I hesitated. Are you telling me if someone entered my home to damage me and my family, I can't shoot to kill him, I was never trained to shoot nobody in the leg. All my years of being in the army, I have a target that a white piece of paper in the center of my chest, and they stated that I was never trained to shoot in the leg. So are you telling me this person comes into my home and I touches me and my family and I shoot him? I'm going to be charged for murder. Please explain this to me, Thanks a lot.
Don't hang up as your caller. Don't hang up. You hear, sir?
Allow me to explain.
Yeah, don't hang up. Just listen here.
There was no time I mentioned shooting any particular area. What I said is understanding the concept and having the mindset. Your objective of having an FUL is to stop your threat. If the threat dies, your intent was to stop him. Most people would hear and misunderstand. The person may be shot, they may fall, they may no longer pose a threat, but because the firearm is to kill, they will continue in their actions, and now they will be brought before the court. So as long as the threat stops, your actions stop. Now, everybody talking about the home, now no cameras home, but you leave with that mindset and go on the street where there's cameras. You can't lie. So the point I'm making, and I said do not misunderstand, understand the mindset. Your objective is to stop the threat. If the threat dies, it happened. If the threat didn't die, and the threat suspect dies, the threat stopped. And the actions no longer necessary. Because from protection, now you have been going to assault.
Right? So I hope the caller, but I would like to ask the caller a question. Caller, let's slow down your radio Oh, your TV a little bit. Your TV, sorry, not radio. It's not radio. See, you need a radio. I'm a radio announcer too, so. Just load on the TV a little bit and listen to us on the phone, right? Now you said, you hear caller? You hear me?
Yeah, right.
Right. So you said how much? 30 years in the army? That's what you said? 31 years and you have a FUL for 26?
Yeah.
26 plus that, right? You said, so you were trained in the army to use your firearm. Correct?
Yeah, listen to it.
Right. Having retired from the army, did you seek training outside of the type of training you would have received in the army?
Say that again?
When you retired, right? After coming out of the army, did you seek a different type of training now that you are no longer a member of the defense force? Did you seek a different type of training in the use of your firearm, like with an outside entity like what these gentlemen have here?
No, I go to the range every Saturday morning. For 1 hour.
Right.
And practice my shooting skills.
Okay, good. So in the army you were trained to shoot where?
To kill.
Huh?
To kill. You said to kill.
Right, good. You were trained to kill in the army.
trained to shoot in the leg.
All right, good. I understand that. So you were trained to kill in the army, and that is exactly the point I'm making. Because now that you are no longer a member of the defense force, don't you think you should have maybe gone to a different entity now to learn the difference between training or learning to shoot in the army than being a civilian at this point of your life?
Now, if you allow me, the training is not the issue, you know. The point I'm making is the mindset and understanding the intent and purpose.
Right.
Because I keep on stressing, if you have a program in your mind, your firearm is to kill, after the threat stop, you will continue in your actions because they want to make sure you fulfill the objective of killing.
Yeah.
The objective of owning a FUL is for your personal protection. So after you have completed the physical protection, you may have to go for the legal protection.
Right.
And if it has been proven that the threat had already stopped, but because it wasn't there, they continued your actions because I'm programmed in mind it is to kill, that is where the problem lies. I'm not telling you to shoot nobody in the leg or the arm or anywhere. All training is the upper torso.
Yeah, all.
The point I'm making, going with the mindset, the objective that you want to fulfill is to stop the threat. If it dies, not a problem. But in the back of my mind, I know when the threat stops, I have to stop.
Yeah.
And because people leave with the intention of going, see, I go down and kill him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no longer fight continues and you still continue your actions. Now you will now be brought before the court. That is the context I spoke about.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to bring out what you saying there. I want the caller to understand that while you were trained in the army is trained to do exactly what he said.
Yeah.
You are no longer a member of the defense force. So, have you seek to be retrained?
So in other words, even go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Let me say something. When a bandit attacks you, or they are supposed to attack, at that split second, the amount of decisions you have to make, as you already know, the amount of decisions I have to make in a 6 second per bandit point of weapon at me, that's your training steps in. And I think my army training can be too good. Because in that second, you have to study, can I shoot him now? Can I draw? Do I have anybody around? So you have to be so careful. But that training steps in right away. Everything goes pretty well. Only training to make it around. Yeah, and you already know that.
Yeah.
Yes, and I agree with you.
You have to make some decisions in a second.
100% agree.
I agree with you.
That is not an easy thing, and then you tell me if I shoot him, I try to
No, I never said that.
No, caller,
You are missing the point, sir.
No, caller, that's not what we saying.
I am not saying that. What I'm saying, if people go with the concept that the FUL is to kill, that will be the end objective. So even if the threat stop, they will continue doing what they are doing, and then they would end up in problem.
Let me paint a scenario. So, bandit committed, well, let me not say bandit. Somebody enters your premises. The assumption is that is abandoned because...
Take it off of the home. Put it on the street where everybody sees.
No, I want to put it back in the home, that's all. Follow what I'm saying. So, somebody illegally enters your home. So, the assumption is, okay, this person here to interfere with me and my family. No problem. So, you grab your firearm. Something happens. Your bomb's too short. You hit the person. They fall. The firearm end up away from the person. So you can't say they still have a firearm that is now threatening your life, but you shot them. Are you still going to know, because the person didn't die from that first shot, the firearm is no longer close to them within reach, are you now going to bounce 2 more shots on them because you've been trained to kill? That's the point we're making. At that point, the threat has stopped. The person is no longer a threat to you, and that's the point we make it. So we're not saying don't shoot. We're not even saying don't kill. If that happens, then that is what it took to stop the threat. But at that point in time, you shot the person, they fell, the firearm ended up somewhere, with the action they fall, the firearm ended up 5-6 feet away from them. It's no longer within the reach to say they could grab and still try to shoot at you. If at that point you continue to say you're going to shoot them because I'm supposed to kill you, at that point, that is where the law now steps in, and that's the point, the distinction we're trying to make.
It's
on the TV.
Yeah.
Caller, you need to listen to us on the phone, eh?
Yeah, you have to listen on it.
Yeah.
would make the first shot count.
No, but the thing is...
A trained person will never, a well-trained firearm user, for example, shoot a man on the ground, down. One thing, I mean, the first shot, you know, you take on anything from us. The first shot always comes, make it come. But sometimes, the situation goes, the person gets away.
And that is exactly the point I'm making.
So is it that your intention is to kill this person in your house? Caller, don't answer that question, but thanks for the call.
Okay then.
Nice.
All right, I'm a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're not grasping the concept of what it is.
Yeah. No, but there's something I wanted to make, a point I wanted to bring up.
But before you make the point, the reason I ask the questions I ask him, because as a soldier, as we all would know, you go through something called recruit training.
Yeah.
Right? That in itself speaks volumes, because what that training does to you after, it's put you in that same mindset that he's speaking about.
Something they call what training is it?
Recruit training.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing you do. Right? It puts you, it literally takes that civilian mentality away from you and puts you into that soldier mentality. Because that soldier mentality is totally different, you know.
Go ahead.
To a police, to a security guard.
Yes.
And he keeps saying, I was a soldier and I was trained to kill.
Yeah.
Now that you are no longer a soldier, does that give you the right to still shoot somebody?
Well, and this is the point I want.
Not and kill them, shoot somebody. To kill them.
And this is the point I wanted to make, because the very said army have something they call a resettlement program.
Yes. We have
where they have to now recondition
you. Can't stick tonight. You have 10 minutes to go.
So, which is designed to recondition you to no longer be a soldier, because you now come into civilian life. You have to now recondition your mind. And while I appreciate what he says, the training don't leave you. Granted. But it doesn't mean the training could not be applied any and everywhere.
Then this was
you now have to be retrained and reconditioned to some degree.
There is a policy.
Yeah.
Not a policy. It's a law in the Firearm Act where you're supposed to go and do a competency every year.
Yeah.
So is he, the question of, is he going to do that competency every year to renew his license? And next question, what did he acquire for his competency?
Yeah. And this is why I asked him, have you ever thought about coming to like your institution
exactly,
to get a different understanding of the use of your firearm?
Because let me put that next way. A soldier, you spend 10 years in the army, you learn to shoot to kill.
Yeah.
You now left the army, you are now a member of the police service. The training and the use of firearm is different.
Totally.
You can't say you go to that police day, well, I learned to shoot as a soldier, and I'm not going to apply. No, you have to retrain now based on where you are now.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Very important.
And we love that.
Most important.
We love that.
Thank you. Yes, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Only know we have to come back, right?
We have 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. Only know we have to come back, right?
All right, so we will keep the tactical thing for me.
Right.
I just want to say good night to my training crew.
Yes,
right.
man.
Nice. Inside.
Madam.
Right.
Taz.
Right.
Zendaya. Monster. Shiloh. And Tough.
Yeah. So like a serious crew.
Yeah, boy. Especially the last one, they were tough.
They're tough. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Caruth.
But if I could give something like this question before we go.
The criteria for becoming an instructor.
Say what you want to say.
I think we touched that already. You know?
Yeah, we had touched that.
Yeah, that would have been with the.
What are the
yes.
You would have had it. You can apply for it if you were at 25, and then you would have whatever training, whatever you.
I miss out the special person in the training team. Z.
Boy. Well, Z. So, so you really miss them out.
Go ahead, Mr. Caruth.
Well, again, it's just a pleasant good night to the Gale family, and I say to my family, to Brian, Daniel, Jariel, Peter, and Zane.
Nice.
The Gale family, all the callers, all the viewers, all the persons who call in, thank you. And again, as Alvarez said, hopefully next week we'll come back again and answer the tactical question.
Man. So, Mari, if you rewind just like about 20 minutes, you will hear the whole explanation of the criteria for becoming. We just have a few minutes more, so we can. We can work together.
But guys, I mean, and
yes, we have upcoming courses.
Yeah, we have courses
and seminar.
Yeah.
So how could they get in touch with you guys? How could some member of the public get in touch with you guys?
Contact number.
Yeah.
718.
Let me get that here to put that up.
9535.
718
9535.
9535. I'll fix up that nice here.
And then we have the Facebook.
Okay.
FIRA.
Alright, so this is where you could find them guys. Alright, so if you're interested, you want to know more about the courses, you want to know more about all that we talk about, give them a call. Also, you could find them on Facebook. Just look for the Firearms Instructors Regional Association. Let me show you what the logo look like. I'm supposed to have it here somewhere, whatever I have it here. But it's like a big target now, big black target thing.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. Firearms Instructors Regional Association.
Right. So, guys. So final thoughts. So, we have 7 minutes. Final thoughts.
We as instructors in the Firearms Instructors Regional Association would like Trinidad and Tobago to be not like the US, but more professional where firearm training is concerned. And to that, I say good night to the Gayal family, and look us up on the Facebook. And we'd like you all to attend the seminar when you see it comes up. We having one this month, Me, Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the 27th.
The 20. Next month, June.
June.
Okay. But we'll get the information for
We'll
next
put it on
time.
Facebook, so the information would be there.
And I will laser them, so once I get the information, and we'll inform you guys and because they're not part of the Gael family.
I just had a epiphany, and maybe these guys might have had the same epiphany. Maybe before you even step foot to wherever police station, wherever to get the form to full out for the FUL, you should go through the training first. Go through the training first. Range in the classroom. Go through that training first. When you get that competency, then you should be allowed. And I think we need to advocate for that.
Systems have to change first.
Yeah, we need that. I think we need it. We need it.
Yeah.
We need to advocate. We need to come up with a plan, and we need to take it to the people in authority. Instead of just walking off the street and going and get a form, filling it out and dropping it in, come and train first. Let me see if you really have the mental capacity to understand what you're getting yourself into before you even sign on the dotted line.
Then there would have to be a standard as to what is needed and required.
Right.
Because a lot of people go and tell the instructor what they want, but maybe not what they need.
Yes.
Because I don't know better.
Yeah.
I come into you for a tactical program.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Get
So that's where you all come in now. So you guide these people.
So for next week, God's willing, remember the scenario I posed. You, if you could imagine yourself from television, in law enforcement, any branch, private or state, and there are 3 persons in a house who would do grievous bodily harm to you. You have to go in and get them. What would you be using, and who you may be going with? So next week when we come back, we'll get into that tactical question.
Hey, like this. It's gun talk all here. Gun talk all here like too much. They want fun talk here. Like too much gun talk. Really. Coming again is gun talk. Gun talking all your tail next week, man. I mean, yeah. Gun No, but good night, Trinidad. Stay crusty.
Captain Waffles,
boy. What a dream. Yeah.
Harriet Jeremiah and Stacia Francois. Good night, David.
Looking forward to these gentlemen again.
Who was a name that came up
Very
this summer? I can't remember.
I see my sleep started kicking.
All the Gael family, Urena Victory. Good night, folks. This is it. So next week, please God, we're going to continue this conversation. This is a very...
It's important. It's important because boy, if I kind of little taken here because that's only one, That's one. So imagine how much more you have out there with that same mindset.
And there's something I want to bring up.
That's a scary thing, man.
Yeah, I'm bringing it out because of that. There's something I mentioned it last week, but I wanted to focus on it a little more. Based on what we're discussing here, there is this sense of false security that a lot of people have, that because this fella next to me with a firearm, I safe. I have no idea how competent he is.
Of using that.
I might be in more danger being close to him with a firearm because I don't know if he know how to use it properly.
Yeah. Correct.
Glad to say that. And this goes to everyone. Going in the range and standing up and shooting is not training.
Thank you very much.
That is a part of training.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because there are a lot of other things you may need to do to get a gun on target safely.
Yeah.
That's just the training.
This guy just reinforcing my point. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, boy. Serious.
But it shows up when we're on the range. That is in the classroom.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
In the classroom.
I have seen it. That's why I raised it, because I have seen it. And I had to move quick from somewhere because I could have dared, strip it, and when I supposed to be comfortable, knowing that you next to me have a firearm, so I have a certain amount of more frightened.
Yeah.
Because you are no one threat to my life. Just having that
conversation.
Just to clear that up, people may understand what I just said in the last minute we had.
Yeah.
I could be a perfect crack shot, but I don't even know how to get the gun out of my holster to get onto the target.
Yeah.
How much of us train?
Not only that,
to do that.
put you on a range shooting a dead target, yeah, good. You're well good. When a man shooting back at you, you freeze.
To the mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Mindset, yeah.
Exactly.
So guys, it was lovely.
I see your thing, boy.
Lovely. This topic definitely will be here again in the near future, next week, because we have a lot of and it's very engaging. You know, you guys looking for the information, and we'll try to bring as much as we could. It's 11 o'clock though, so we need to make our our exit. Right? We out of here, guys. Rubber dub. Next week.
Ashley knows that. Ashley now coming.
We looking to go.
Ashley, what kind of behavior is it? We'll talk next week. Take care. Folks.
Hey, Olia.
Have a good one.